I would like to come out in favor of the judges recognizing bad signatures. I was in a precinct one, well, it was where I actually lived, and a man came in and his signature looked nothing at all like what was on file. But I happened to know him, and I said that, and that I knew him and that he was that man. And so it was voted to allow him to vote. And I also said, well, you better go down and re-register because I might not be here at the next election. And as a matter of fact, I was, and he had re-registered.
But you will be here a lot more of the next
election.
So you may just not be in the polling place.
Yeah.
So they did try to compare the gentleman's signature, and
yeah,
did
they
not
did.
compare, right?
And they weren't people that I thought were trained at all in that.
Mm-hmm.
They were, you know, that somebody had dug up from somewhere else. They weren't anybody I knew.
But they did compare signatures and questioned his signature because it did not.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, I believe the judges of elections try their hardest, and that a few minutes in the training program probably could give them a few more skill sets that they might not have yet, because not everybody's as experienced as some of the judges that have been doing it for a while.
Yeah, well, of course, actually, you get a few judges that are functionally illiterate. I mean, one per precinct doesn't, in fact, it's, they usually wind up supervising where people can go and vote and putting things into the machine. So if they happen to look at the thing, they can't read it. At the ballot, they can't read it anyway. So, but
that's a tough issue in my mind, and I guess we have to think about that because we have already an overloaded educational training program for our judges and what we ask them to do and learn about. And I guess I'd be curious when we talk to maybe our handwriting experts to how much can really be taught and how much knowledge might be counterproductive actually if you think you are trained. In a 3-hour training course, we couldn't give more than 5 minutes to handwriting comparison skills and techniques. I don't know if any could be obtained that really would be useful. But I'd be interested in finding out what, you know.
Discuss with Mr. Hayes and see where we're at.
Mr. Chairman, it is a complicated issue because I'm also concerned with the flip side of that, where judges will challenge people without any basis, just because over a period of years, from the time that you've registered until you may be voting, people's signatures change. Age, illness, whatever it might be, arthritis in the writing hand. So there's a balance here that's important to strike.
Yep, and I'd be concerned that we might empower these judges to think they have that ability with a 5-minute course in the judges training program for 3 hours of loads of material, and all of a sudden we have judges who feel that they are handwriting experts. So I think a little knowledge could be dangerous in those cases, but I'd be interested to hear from our experts as to whether any skills could be taught at all that could be useful.
Well, I'm just so baffled by that, because if the only source of security that we have, that the person standing in front of the judge is the signature, because that is the only source of security that we have, I would think that, you know, from a security perspective, which is what Defend the Vote looks at, the training of the judges on being able to recognize potentially fraudulent signatures and to know that they have the right and they have the responsibility to challenge that, such that if they don't believe the signature, somebody vouches for them or they pull out their ID or whatever it is to get them so that they can vote. Because it's true, people get sick, they age, they don't update their voter registration rolls. We don't want them not to be able to vote, but on the other hand, we want the judge to challenge that so that there's a confirmation, just as what happened here in what you were speaking about. You know, so the judges said it wasn't a rightful signature that got challenged, but the identity was confirmed and the voter got to vote.
Yeah, I think you misinterpreted me, Ms. Murley. I said, if obviously they have that power to do that, and they do that now. The problem I have is is empowering them with the thought that they are now experts in the area of signature comparison with maybe a less than 5-minute educational program on that. I think they have their ability to use their common sense, their reasoning ability that they have now, but to say now that you're telling judges that they are experts in the area of signature comparison, I think it'd be dangerous. So we have to look at that.
Okay, we could revisit that next meeting.